Welcome to the Alkalign Lifestyle School. I am your guide today, Fidelis Noga II, and I'm here to talk to you today about why rich men get cheated on. And this is a topic because I've seen a trending topic was Tom Brady's ex-wife, Giselle, one of the top supermodels in the entire world, now having a child with the man she was seeing outside of Tom Brady and her relationship. And great for her. That's wonderful for her. But you're not understanding that it's energetic. And if you can look at it from an energetic perspective, you'll understand why she went somewhere else and found somebody whom she was actually in alignment with, and why it should not be some social prison that you have whenever you get married. This is not how it's supposed to be. So let me express to you the first reason. The first reason why rich men get cheated on is because your frequency does not match your partner sexually. Now, let me explain to you how this works. Frequency is essentially what I'm thinking about frequently. Meaning, if my goals are to be the best at something, say I want to be the best, say I'm a firefighter, man, and I want to be the best firefighter on the entire planet, in the entire world. My partner, she can be a teacher, school teacher, kindergarten teacher. She can be a news reporter, whatever she is. If she doesn't have the mentality to be the best at it, to be the best school teacher or the best news reporter, she's going to be on a different frequency. And then her vibration, meaning her attitude towards what she's doing, is not going to be the same in harmony as my attitude towards what I'm doing. So therefore, you're looking at this and you're saying vibration is how fast I'm oscillating. How fast am I presenting myself outwardly in terms of the waves that are going out of my thought process? How fast is this moving out to the screen in space? And where is it moving to? Where it's moving to is going to be the frequency. But how fast it's moving is going to be my vibration. So if you have a low vibrational partner, a high vibrational partner, that's not going to match. You have to be in alignment vibrationally and on the same frequency. If you're on a different frequency and you're not vibrating the same, you're going to have an issue because there's not going to be harmony between the two of you. Now, sexually is even more difficult because you got to look at it from repression and expansion. Some people are just sexually repressed, just stuck, just tight, they're not able to actually ever just be free and just be light. And I'm not claiming that Tom Brady or any type of rich man is going to be like the stale person. What I'm saying is you have to wake up to who you really are and focus on authenticity. You can't play the role all the time because the role that you're playing all the time is not going to work. So that's where it comes down to, and it says you need to look at yourself differently. You need to understand yourself differently. So if you can look at yourself differently, you can say, okay, my vibration and my frequency does not match my partner sexually. I have to change it. Someone has to speak up. Someone has to say, I need this. Now, if y'all remember correctly, I do believe that Giselle gave Tom an ultimatum and said, listen, I want you to retire. I want you to come to essentially be with me. She's expressing an energetic need. It's not like a controlling thing. She's just saying, I need you to stop doing this, okay? And I need the energy and the attention energetically for you to exchange it with me. I'm not saying Tom is wrong. I'm not saying she is wrong. But all I'm saying is that you were told this is a need that I need. I need this. Now, many of you are being told this by your partners. Many of you are being told this and you're pushing it under the rug and you're pushing it to the side and you're not doing anything about it. You're not focusing on, okay, my frequency is, fitness, or my frequency is finances, or my frequency is like self-care, or maybe it's enlightenment, whatever it is, whatever I'm focused on, I need to have a harmony with my partner that's gonna take me there. We're gonna go there together. And we're going to vibrate at the highest form of vibration because, listen, you got to learn that constructive interference and destructive interference is incredibly powerful. And this is how the magnet's going to combine to go from one to the next. And if they don't go from one to the next, they're going to separate the two and they're going to push away from each other. So you have got to look at it from this perspective, because too many people are not in constructive interference and they're not aligned with each other. And that's why you're having separation. So why rich men get cheated on? First of all, their frequency does not match their partner sexually. You're thinking about all these rich billionaires and all these wealthy trillionaires and Saudi princes and all types of people, man. They just don't look very good. They haven't taken care of themselves. Now I'm not talking about you can have all the muscles in the world. I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You haven't taken care of yourself. You haven't actually focused on what the divine wants you to do. You focus on what the world wants you to do. And that's where you're gonna lose yourself in an instant. Because up next, you demagnetize yourself energetically. How many people do you know work themselves to death to go get the cash, to go get the money, to go get the stuff, to go get the asset? I gotta get the real estate. I gotta get the stocks. I gotta get the investments. I gotta get everything I need to make sure I'm comfortable, but I forgot that my energy was being drained in the process. I wasn't following the blueprint that the creator gave me. I was creating my own blueprint, thinking that I knew better and I was the one that has to make the plan and I knew better than God what I needed for myself. Incorrect. You can tell what you want because the God is within you. The frequency is within you. How you get to something is not supposed to be your business. That's nature's business. So too many rich men think that they got so much control that all of a sudden they overwork themselves and they demagnetize themselves energetically. This is a simple mistake that goes against the circadian rhythm, not focusing on the Chinese body clock. So you staying up and out. You staying up late, and you're thinking that you have to do this, but you don't. Because this is based on personality. It's not based on just knowledge. Knowledge is a very small part of being wealthy. Knowledge is a very small part of being rich. It's a very small part. Energy is the reason. Energy in terms of abundance, in terms of personality. Your personality creates your personal reality. You heard Dr. Dispenza talk about that. Your personality creates your personal reality. So if you have a sorry personality, you're probably gonna have a sorry lifestyle. You'll probably be that person with all the money in the world, no friends, because you ain't friendly. I ain't saying you gotta have a barrage of people. I ain't saying you gotta have, an entourage everywhere that you go. I'm not saying that. But you don't like yourself. So why would anybody like you? If everything's supposed to be connected to the one thing, how I perceive myself is how everyone perceives me. So unfortunately, for rich men, they demagnetize themselves energetically because they drain their battery. Y'all wanna go eat the steak? Y'all wanna go eat the meat? You wanna go be the carnivore? You wanna drink the alcohol? You wanna go have your after hour fun and lose sleep? You're gonna demagnetize yourself energetically. Because all of a sudden, because your battery is dead, you're attracting the women that also have a dead battery. You're seeing all these influencers dying, like young, under 20, under 30, for ridiculous reasons, stupid reasons. Because you're so focused on what the society is confirming for you because you didn't affirm it for yourself. And that's where many rich men have a problem, because they're looking to the women to make them feel like they have confirmation in the world. So the woman just becomes the trophy for the man to say, I made it. But you can't even hold on to that woman because you can't produce what you're supposed to produce sexually, because this comes from energy. So how many of these men that you're gonna see at the top of the scale that have already been divorced, they have multiple wives, multiple partners? What's going on? Like, you would think that a person that's got $1 trillion, $1 billion, you would think that they're good, right? Everything's good, right? I mean, you got everything that you need, right? Nah, you ain't got everything that you need, because this is a mental thing. And here's how the mental game is played. Most of them have erectile dysfunction. Most of them don't have a good lifestyle. Most of them have a bad diet. Most of them don't get enough sleep. And so all of a sudden, when you're coming back to a person, you cannot be in harmony with this person. You're an athlete. You leaving for 6-7 months at a time. Your spouse is pretty much like your teammates because you don't really know anybody else. You're with just your teammates. So it's like you have to look at it from, you have to put the fuel in. You have to put the actual intimacy fuel in. You have to actually make that time to do that for that person. You can't tell somebody to just settle. You can't do that. And so if you're gonna come in here with a dead battery every time I gotta see you, we ain't gonna have nothing working. Ain't gonna work. So that's the second reason why you see rich men get cheated on. But the third reason, and this is gonna combine both of these. The third reason is because they're focused on their resume instead of romance. You're focused on your resume. And unfortunately, your resume is supposed to be a family resume. It's supposed to be a generational resume of your family, a mission statement for your family. What are you giving up for your family? What's your family going to go do for the rest of the world? What's your family creating for everybody? Not just you, ain't about you no more. Once you get into a relationship, it ain't just about you no more. It's not about you anymore. It's about how you positive and woman negative, or woman negative and you positive combines to make a brand new thing. You begin to generate brand new things. And you give those brand new things, people, human beings, your software, subconscious programs so that they can create something better for this world. That's what you do. And if you don't look at it from that perspective, you're focused so much on your resume. No offense to any Hall of Fame athlete or anything, but at the end of the day, who really cares? That's nice, and that's great. But if your family dynamic isn't working for you, you don't really care about your Hall of Fame resume. You don't really care about if you got 100 companies to do. You don't care about this shit. It doesn't do anything if you aren't feeling harmony on the inside. You have to focus on the actual romance. You have to focus on actually loving yourself first. So you have got to focus on self-love. This has to be like a priority for people to look at. If they don't look at it from focusing on self-love as a priority, who's gonna focus on it for you? So most people have a sexless relationship. You'll see you got these rich men that come and they get sugar babies and these young women and they just go buy them a bunch of stuff. Because they don't have anything else that they can offer. They can't do anything. It's not like they can go out, move with you, play with you, do anything. They can't really do anything with you. They're only doing it so that they can sustain a void or fill a void that they have within themselves. So you have to look at it from that perspective. Why are you doing it? You have nothing in resonance or in harmony with this person. Most people sit there and they don't actually understand that this is how energy works. And some people, they just need to move on. Because some people just want to change. But this is where cleansing comes in. Detoxifying comes in. Stopping yourself and hitting the reset button. Stopping yourself and going to a brand new way. Stopping yourself and going to a brand new perspective. You've got to be able to cleanse what's going on inside this gut, because this is where all your feelings and emotions are stored inside of your solar plexus. If you don't go to transform this, if you don't go to empty this out of all the toxins generationally that you've picked up, traumas that you've picked up, you're gonna overcompensate yourself. And you may have the pocketbook, but you don't have the actual romance. And this is why many rich men get cheated on, because simply they don't understand frequency and vibration. Vibrations is like your attitude. Okay, so what's your attitude towards life? Your attitude towards life is that it's abundant, that it's wonderful, that it's great, that it's however I make it. Life is however I decide to make it, right? That's gonna be your attitude. That's gonna be your vibration. Because once you attract those things back to you, you're gonna say, I'm attracting a great thing. I'm optimistic every single day. You're always gonna have a great thing coming right back to you. But then if you have a negative perspective, a low vibration, you're always gonna have somebody running away from you. That's pretty much how it works. Because you're drawing back to you those experiences that are going to match your attitude, your vibration. That's why attitude is like the key word in this whole entire thing. So if you don't understand that you have to be on the same frequency, you have gold diggers that they call, men call these women gold diggers, also women that are wealthy. They have men that are gold diggers. It's the same thing. It's based upon the way that you're thinking, based upon the way that you're focused on the actual world, your frequency. You draw in to you what you're putting out. So trust me, nothing happens by chance. You didn't meet that gentleman by chance. You didn't meet that lady by chance. You met them because that's what you were putting out in terms of your radio projector, sending out that signal. And all of a sudden it radioed this lady right back to you or this man right back to you. That's what you were projecting outwardly. And you got a match. Bing. You got a match. You're the tuning fork. So all of a sudden, if you don't come up with the concept, and there's a bunch of new millionaires every day, especially in this country. There's a bunch of them coming up. And that's wonderful. It's great. If you don't focus, clarity, where you going? What's your first question for your partnership? What are your goals? Where do you want to end up? Where you see yourself in 2, 3, 4, 5 years? If that's the first thing that you need to understand, because you can have a 20,000 square foot house and feel like it's a prison instead of feeling like it's a castle. You can have a castle, you can have a prison. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but still your fault. You didn't get enough clarity. So you decided to go buy yourself a partnership. You decided to buy yourself a relationship. You know why? Because you could afford it. But you knew it wasn't gonna last because it wasn't real. There was nothing real about it. There was nothing that was vulnerable about it. Nothing that was transparent about it. Nothing that was accountable about it. Because you weren't even accountable for yourself. To go and state what you really wanted from your relationship. You didn't even do it. What do you think you're gonna get back? You get back what you're putting out. So look at it from a golden rule perspective, okay? You will do to others what you want them to do to you. Want somebody to lie to you, you lie to them. Want somebody to mistreat you, you mistreat them. Misguide you, you misguide them. That's just how it works. Because everything is a reflection of you. You're being looked at by one only eye. That's just how this universe is controlled and the mechanism is controlled. So you demagnetize yourself because energetically you drain your battery because all you want to do is work. All you want to do is make the money. Your soul focus on making the money and buying life that you want. But you forgot that if you just focus on making the money and buying life that you want, you're just buying some artificial life. You didn't actually create one. You didn't create one. All you got was assets that you purchased that were created by somebody else. And sometimes you can have a team. Sometimes you can have a partner that actually creates with you, that actually builds with you. You see what I'm saying? It's all gonna stay here anyway. So don't think that you're gonna take your $100 trillion with you, your $100 billion with you. It stays here. All your chips gonna go right back into the game. They can go right back into the pool, and somebody else is gonna get them. So in 100 years, somebody else is gonna be inside your house, gonna live on top of your land, gonna farm your land. They're gonna be inside your office building, inside your office space. You're not gonna be there anymore. Somebody else is gonna be there. So if you look at it from some hoarding perspective, because you don't want to talk about death or dying, you got a problem too. You don't go nowhere, you just go back into the space. So all of a sudden, you drain your battery here because you focused so much on your resume instead of romance. Listen up. If you really want to have a substantial, a successful, a wonderful, harmonious time, you want yourself and your partner to be in homeostasis. You want yourself and your partner to achieve alignment. You want yourself and your partner to put everything out onto the table and be as transparent as possible. Because if you can be transparent, if you can walk around without holding on to anything, if you can walk around without holding on to your fake persona that you created that got you something, right? If you can hold on to the real you and be the real you, you'll be free. You'll have the most wonderful relationship, you'll be free. But this is where, again, as I remind you, this comes down to you have got to cleanse the old you out of you. You've got to cleanse the old things that are keeping you looking back inside the past, that are keeping you in a state of limitation. You got to get rid of those things. Cleanse them, bring them back up inside of you, and then release them. Then that's for forgiveness. So first off, the plan of execution for rich men, if you're rich, and let me tell you, a rich man, that's a subjective thing. You can be a $500,000 a year salary guy, $100,000 a year salary guy, and believe that you're rich. If whatever you make it. So you're gonna draw in somebody who also believes that that's riches. That's not a problem. That's what you believe, 100%, go for it. But what you need to do first and foremost is you've got to cleanse yourself. Cleanse your cellular structure of everything that came before you generationally. Cleanse yourself before you. After you cleanse yourself, reprogram your subconscious mind. You cleanse yourself, you reprogram your subconscious mind. And what you do is you reprogram your subconscious mind to achieve harmony, so that you now use the habits that you've created to now achieve harmony. Many people are doing this, and they're doing it as an escape. You're going to get things as an escape. And you don't need to do it as an escape. You should do it as growth. You should do it as something that's wonderful. And then after you reprogram your subconscious mind, then you also transform yourself, meaning your actual body, your actual physical mechanism, your actual vessel. Transform this vessel and make this vessel the best, the most special, the most amazing, the most expressive thing that you can create. Make it that way. But you have to take some time to yourself and actually recreate a self-image of you in a relationship. And that's going to say, I desire this person, this honest person, this attractive person, this self-conscious person, this intentional person, this sexy because they're expressive and they're unique, and punctual person, this person who's transparent, who's vulnerable, okay, who's also accountable, takes responsibility for themselves. You can have all of these, this whole list full of things. And I encourage you to do this. Just take a pen and just write down my ideal partner. And then you write down every single quality and characteristic that you want inside this partner. And then you turn and you look at yourself inside the mirror and you ask yourself, each thing that you listed out there on that characteristics list and qualities that you want inside the partner, ask yourself in the most honest way possible, is that me? And if the answer is no, don't sit there waiting around like you're gonna just magically walk and open up the door and she's gonna pop out or he's gonna pop out. Transform yourself into that person first. Once you do that, I guarantee you will have no issue. You'll have no issue at all, period. If you're learning, if you're always growing, if you're always seeing yourself in a projection forward, the person that's alongside you has to always be learning and growing, seeing themselves forward. Because if you don't, you're going to get left. You're going here and they're going with you. So it's going to be this line right here. And then all of a sudden you keep on learning and growing. You can keep on going here. This person's going to stay stagnant. You keep on creating this huge gap. And now what? Somebody got to stop and they got to catch up. Because if you don't, you'll be climbing the ladder together when you first start. And somebody's stopping. They ain't climbing them steps. Then that gap starts to get too big. It puts a strain on the relationship. I'm not saying you can't move up and then move up, or move up and then move up, but you need to be doing it in harmony. If you're moving up, pull the other person with you. Pull the other person with you. And stop being reluctant to come with them. That's what you do. Surrender yourself to growth. And I guarantee all these rich men that you keep on seeing get cheated on is because they've been focused on not the energy perspective. They've only been focused on society's perspective. Leave that mess alone. If you guys are looking for a detoxification program, cellular cleansing program, click the link in my description. I have an awakened daytime cleansing program and a replenish nighttime, and also a cognitive replenishment. That's what replenish is. Both of these cellular cleanses are handmade, take about 60 days or less to transform your entire personality, your entire life. And also, if you're looking for a deeper connection and a raised sense of awareness and consciousness and enlightenment, every month, for last week of the month, I put on my Become More Alkalign Challenge. You guys are gonna align your chakras and also alkalize your body with this new information, transform yourself generationally. And if you're a VIP, very important, high performance, high profile, high net worth person, and you want hands-on, where we actually come to you to serve you, I also have a generational health program that you guys can sign up for. Other than that, until next time.